This is some general cleaning tips on keeping the pathway for your mats clean. You want to open this up. Your little bottle of whatever type wash you're using. Please no Crisco or anything like that, but just regular solvent of some sort. And you want to keep each one of these fins clean down through here. You want to wipe this. This is a path that your mats travel as they're going down to the assembler, and they get kind of dirty. You get some dirt in there and any dirt that is on here is going to transfer to your mats. Your mats are going to take it elsewhere through the system, and that's going to make all your mats dirty. Also, your belt, you want to wipe your belt off. You can see the dirt on this one. You want to keep it clean. And we just wipe it down, run it through, wipe it down, or you can, while it's running, you can wipe it down. But you can get all this dirt, and all this dirt will wind up on your mats and get your mats dirty. So keeping this area clean, usually what I do is while I'm running once a week, every 2 or 3 days, whatever, is just wet a rag, and as the machine is cycling, I just hold it up here and get the dirt off of it. Getting in between here, you can take a screwdriver or just your rag and stick it up in there and try to clean all that out. This one's not too bad. And down here, you have your star wheel. So while it's running, you can just take your damp rag and just kind of hold it to your star wheel and get all of this dirt off of it. It all just came off the star wheel just now for this one. So that's all dirt that would get onto your mats and keep your mats. If it's only 1 or 2 mats that are dirty, it'll transfer to all the rest of them by the time you finish doing what you're doing most of the time. So keep these areas clean. Right here on the rails, you want to wipe these rails down as well. Wipe your finger down in here that they comes up against. Get all your hairs off that come off your rags. Up here on your transfer, you got the spring. Wipe this off real well. Wipe this side off. Anything that touches your mats, you want to wipe off and just generally keep as clean as you can keep. This face up here will get dirt on it from your mats coming down, and it will transfer to your mats as well, because your mats, when they come down, they hit this, and that kind of holds them in here, and the toes and ears actually will come in contact with this and get pretty dirty. Now, inside your jaws, your toes and ears are in that, so you can kind of wipe those out, keep those clean. Your finger up here, wipe your bar off at the top, and get quite a bit of dirt off that. Up here on the top, you have your screws that come across. And it generally gets real dirty up on this end where the mats first come in. So you can put your rag in the groove and then hold this in there. You use a screwdriver or whatever. You get the dirt out of the groove on your bar up here. You got 3 bars. So this back one's an easy one to get to, but it takes a little practice to get this held in there and let it run all the way across, and then to get to the other 2. Now you could also take a screwdriver and put it on your rag and run it down in between each of these partitions. They need to be kept clean, or they actually make a brush that will fit down in these channels up here, because all these channels are close together. I think it's McMaster Car you can still get those brushes from, and you can polish these areas up here to keep your mats from transferring dirt from each other. Also, these screws up here, you can hold it on this bottom one. Now the other side is up at the top, and you either have to get it from the front, get a little step stool or ladder, and you can get the front screw from up on the other side. Okay. If you do not have a quadder on your machine, you have space bands. Space bands are the lifeblood of what you do. You can't cast without them. So right here it says clean space bands twice daily. That was meant for newspapers and such. They cleaned them when they came in, they cleaned them at lunch, they cleaned them when they went home. So you clean them at least twice daily. Now, what you want to do is reach in here and slide the space bands out. And I'm only going to do a few of them. I'm not going to do all of them. We'll let the museum people do those. And there is actually a tool to take these out all at one time. I just don't have it with me right now. Now, the component of this is this piece needs to slide up and down freely. As you can see, this one is not. It's hanging. So what you would do, and they don't have one, we're going to have to work with them on that, is you'd have a flat pine board. You'd sprinkle graphite on it. You'd take your space band and lay it down and rub it around and around. You'd flip it over and rub it around and around and again. Then you would take and jog your extra graphite off. At that point, this should move up and down freely. What it should do is when it's up here, you should be able to let go of it and it go all the way down by itself. This one's not doing that. Here's one that's doing what it's supposed to. This actually, it's a little dirty too, but it should slide down all by itself. So you would, the other thing you look for is on this edge over here, you'll see a black spot, and that's where the casting point is on the mold. So you want to rub it clean until it's shiny metal again and does not have the black spot on it. But you want all of your space bands, see this one's doing real bad. You want all of your space bands to run up and down freely and smoothly so that they can do what they're supposed to. What the space band does is it drops in at this position and your mats are up here. When the bar comes up in the back, it goes up and this space becomes thicker here. So it actually pushes your mats out to lock them into position so that, like when you're doing a book, it's justified. Both sides are even all the way up and down. When you're using quad center, quad right, quad left, then one side is wiggly because you're moving the mats back and forth. This moves the mats out equally so that you have smooth edges on both sides. Like in any book that you read, that's called justified type.